What's going on, big boys and big girls? It's your boy Big John from BodyForward, and today I want to talk about a huge diet misconception. The misconception about fat being evil in the diet. Fat is good for you. Eat fat. The only thing that they say to stay away from is saturated fat because they link it to heart disease. That's it. And even now, that's up for debate. Even now, they're starting to challenge that, whether or not that is the correct form of thinking. But until that time comes, we'll accept that saturated fat, high levels of saturated fat, are linked to heart disease. So we'll take that into consideration. But fat is good for you, and here's why. One, don't pick up your belly and show your fat, Tom. Don't do that. Keep your fat there. Yes, that would be saturated fat on an animal. Put your belly away. Guys, he doesn't want to put his belly away. I keep telling him, but he keeps showing me his belly. Put your belly away. Okay, he finally stopped. He finally stopped. All right. Saturated fat. Fat is good for you. Fat is good for you because it has 9 calories for every gram of fat. So that's the most out of every macronutrient. You're not going to find as many calories in protein or carbohydrates. So if you need that calorie intake, fat is good for you. But you don't want to go over 30% of fat. That's linked to problems. So you don't want to do that. The other thing, it's great for absorbing vitamins. You can't absorb vitamins without having fat in the diet. And the other thing that's really good for people that overeat, here's another misconception, right? Fat gets you fat. Fat actually keeps you fuller longer because it stays inside the stomach much longer, right? So now we're talking about saturated fat being bad for you. Saturated fat is mostly found in dairy and meat products. But here's the thing, what else would you be eating in this world if you were trying to find a protein source, a good protein source? Most of that is in animal proteins, right? Even chicken breast has saturated fat in it. But with that being said, try to stay away from the dairy, a lot of dairy, because dairy is nothing but saturated fat. Try to stay away from that as often as possible, and try to replace that kind of fat with the more healthier fats, monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, which is found in olive oil, seeds, nuts, avocados. Those are healthier fats for you. And also fish, the fat found in fish, because that's omega-3 also. That's usually pretty good for you. Just don't eat too much fish because you don't want to get poisoned, right? With all these toxins that are in the water. But other than that, you need fat in your diet. Fat is good for you. Just don't go overboard with the saturated fat, with the dairy. As always, it's your boy, Big John from BodyForward. I love you. Take care. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Don't forget to go to the greatest website in the world, www.body-forward.com. Hit that free nutrition report. And remember to love yourself always. You only got one body, one mind, and you're your own master. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Have a good image. Take care. I love you. Horniness does not affect me.